CryptoGit made over 5,000x in crypto, now teaching my journey for everyone that don't know. And yeah, today on this video I'm gonna cover exactly what I believe will be the sector that will shine the most, and I'm gonna go slowly on all of them for you guys to create a better idea which is the stuff that I prefer the most, because everyone is talking about memes, AI. You got so much stuff nowadays, and a lot of people will be like, should I focus on memes, should I buy layer ones, should I buy AI, should I buy gaming, what should I do? Now let me first start with the only sector which I believe will continue to do good and will continue to shine in this bull run. This is actually a well established sector which didn't launch yesterday, didn't launch a few months ago, but it's an established sector that has been here for many years, and I'm talking for layer ones. Why I believe layer ones will be amazing and will continue to do good. You see, that is the first one. Let me go with the history first so you can create a better idea of how things went. So let's go with the Ethereum chart. Ethereum actually launched in the last let's say 2015-16, experienced the first bull run to 2017, right? I don't know why it's not the correct chart. All the chart, yeah, I think this is the one. So Ethereum launched here, had a dip, then actually ran like crazy. From the bottom was like $5-6, the top was 1.4k. If we call from the ICO of Ethereum was like 0.31 cents, so it did like crazy. Ethereum paved the way for layer ones, right? And actually another coin that tried to actually do the same, and it did the same like Ethereum, was Cardano. If you check, for example, here, Cardano, on that Cardano technically launched in 2017, but it actually showed that there's demand. Sorry, I thought I was watching Cardano. There's actually demand for layer ones, because Cardano on the first cycle, I think it did more than 50x. You can check it, launched October 2017, and it had a run for less than 5 months, and then it did 50x. And this actually was a start for layer ones, was Ethereum and Cardano. Then what happened? And look how crazy and how fast Cardano was. It pumped like in a matter of 3-4 months more than 50x. Then Cardano 2021, still it did more than 90x from here, and it was also a huge bull run. Now, what happened in 2020, the last bull run? We saw this surge of layer one going like crazy. We had Solana. Solana launched did over 200x. BNB did over 600x. You got Avalanche. You got many other chains that launched. So you saw how all the smart minds went and bought and built layer ones. And we are not talking for just some average people building. We're talking for I say that the CZ is one of the smartest guys in crypto, and he built a layer one. So the people that built layer ones showed that actually there's really huge development and strength in this sector, and will continue to go. Now this sector is backed by 2 cycles. There's not a single sector which is backed by 2 cycles. That's a big difference. AI is not backed by 2 cycles. Gaming is not backed by 2 cycles. Gaming, for example, launched in the last bull run. So AI wasn't here, gaming wasn't here, NFTs actually weren't here. So you gotta understand that I think that layer ones will continue to do good, and that's where most of my focus is, because there's still demand. And you might be like, yeah, but it actually did for 2 cycles, why is she doing this bull run? Right now bull run is all about AI and memes and stuff like that. I agree, but you have to understand that, look why I think there's still demand. This is top layer ones by market cap. Let's consider Ethereum, Solana, BNB, and Cardano, all that are not here because they didn't launch now. Ton, when Ton launched, it's been just a few years that Ton launched, is a layer one. Sui, Aptos, Near, ICP, Tau, Kaspa. Kaspa did over 200x at the beginning of the bull run. It's a layer one, and this truly shows why layer ones are not going away. Look at this. The price was 0.302, and look where it is at top, almost 2. It did more than 200x at the beginning of the bull run. Look when Kaspa started to pump, May in 2020, 200x, and there's no diminishing gains here. So you got many other layer ones which are launching, and still it means that there's demand for this thing. So if I want to bet on something that is really safe and actually has room to grow like crazy, I'm talking 50x for more, layer ones is where I believe I would focus more, and that's what you should do. Now, this is the only thing in crypto that is currently backed by 2 cycles and still gains are amazing. Memes lasted last bull run, right? They just launched it in the last bull run. They're now on the 2nd cycle, while layer ones are on the 3rd cycle. So that's a big difference. Now, of course, how to pick the right one is a bit also hard because there's a lot of development, there's a lot of things going on. But if you pick the right one, for sure you can achieve those crazy gains. And as I said, this is a cycle which is backed by this is a sector which is backed by 2 cycles. It's very important. Now, let me give you a quick my opinion about what I think about AI, memes, and all of this kind of stuff. Now, AI is great. I believe will continue to do good because AI tokens are actually just based on kind of the future with Nvidia, what they're doing and all of this kind of movements. But you gotta understand something when it comes to AI. AI is so new. You can make money, but there's a risk when you join to something new, because when you join to something new, you got also the biggest project that you can make money, but also the biggest scams. Think about NFTs in 2020. NFTs were like crazy. People made a lot of money, but you don't hear the stories on how people lose a lot of money too. So this is not a back-tested sector. You can make money here, but you have to be really careful. And trust me, the majority of those coins here are just pumping due to the Nvidia hype. So Nvidia is actually going high, and when Nvidia goes high, most of those coins go high too. So the majority of them don't have a proper tech, because I've studied a lot of them. When I say a lot, I mean crazy numbers. And a lot of them just have no tech, they just pump due to the hype that something is going up. So I do believe they'll continue to do good, but after this bull run, we'll see 80% of them disappearing, and just the concentration will be in a few projects that will probably do like amazing. So this is my opinion about AI. AI is great. Also, one thing that you have to be careful with AI is that it's a new emergent tech and it's so complex. So a lot of people have no idea and just buy AI because they know that Nvidia went up, and they go, look, I'm gonna go to AI sector and see what pumps the most, and they go and be like, yeah, Flux is good, so I'm gonna buy Flux, I'm gonna buy Track, I'm gonna buy Cubic, and they just have no idea. They just buy something from hype. So a lot of this stuff pumps from hype. There's also good tech there, but the majority hasn't a really good tech. Now, another category which a lot of people are basically love is gaming tokens. Now, gaming tokens, GameFi basically, is great, but the problem is with gaming that I've never been a big fan of gaming, because gaming needs the biggest funding. So the reason why the majority of those projects in the bear market crashed and have like crazy chart is because gaming, like any other sector, needs a huge funding. You got people which gonna build the game, you got programmers, you got designers, you got visual guys that fix the game. So there's so much complex stuff to build a game which needs funding, and that funding usually comes from VCs, right? Because they actually fund those projects. And what happens, they actually make profit and crash the price. That's why some gaming tokens charts look like crazy, and I believe they'll do good. But the problem with gaming, which as I said I don't like, is that they have so much costs to be built. Like a coin in other sector doesn't have too much cost to be built and maintained, right? For example, if you build a layer one, it's so costly, it's probably most costly than them, but they don't have constant money which they gotta spend to run that thing. Of course there are servers and all of this kind of stuff, but gaming, you got a lot of employees, devs, graphic guys, game theory, like it's crazy. And this is why one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of this sector. Not saying it will not do good, but also this one is backed by just 1 cycle, the previous one. We'll see this time how gaming would go. Another thing which people are actually bullish is real world assets, which is basically you take the analog world and you put it on blockchain. That technology still is not tested, right? It's the first one. Here you have real world assets. The thing with real world assets, which I'm really personally not a big fan, is that there are some things in worlds which they need to exist in the analog world, in my own opinion. Because you might think, yeah, but real estate in blockchain is amazing because you can buy a piece of a property if you can't afford it all, and I get all of this kind of stuff, but you're not understanding that that piece of property is right now on blockchain. Who controls that blockchain? Likely the founder and the team around and a few devs. What if a dev makes a mistakes and writes a code by mistake, and boom, your real estate is not yours anymore? So this is stuff that a lot of people don't calculate. I'm not saying all will do that, but there are a lot of projects that probably might fall at this. So everything in the digital world, it's not necessarily true that it is beneficial. Personally, I don't like to have real estate on blockchain because, as I said, a dev can wake up tomorrow and invalidate, and your property is not yours anymore, and you lose everything. It's just few lines in the code. So it's better to have some stuff in real life rather than try to put it on blockchain. So one of the reasons it's going to happen is because they like to control all the information about everyone. So this is why one of the things that this sector will be big. But as I said, in terms of making money, you can make. This is just me sharing my honest opinion why I'm not a big fan of this thing. And yeah, it's more like for example, layer ones are actually needed because, for example, you can't build on Bitcoin. When Ethereum came, you couldn't build on Bitcoin. Ethereum solved that problem that you can't build on Bitcoin. But real world assets are just a feature, are just something that makes your life probably easier. It's not a necessity like it was for market back then. People couldn't build on Bitcoin. Then they launched layer ones. Then they realized that Ethereum has crazy gas fees. Then they launched Solana. They launched BNB. So this came from the need of something, while real world assets are not a need for something. They're just a feature to improve your life and our life. So there's a big difference here and there. So personally, I believe that if you want to make really great gains and have also not too much exposure risk, I think layer one is the best thing that you can focus, and that's what I would do if I was in a position. Now, don't forget, I'll leave a link below. Definitely get in my free newsletter. I share all this kind of information, alphas. 8 years that I've been in this space, I share all every day for free. So just sign up below. It's a free newsletter, and I'll send everything every day to you. And hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe too.